So today we're going to look at how to get your ex back. It's a question I get so often it's kind of ridiculous, and I want to talk specifically to that. In some cases it's easy. It's something where you just got in a fight, maybe you just broke up. With a couple little things you can get her back. In other cases it's more serious and there's a serious breakup. Maybe you've been broken up for a while, you're trying to figure out how to get her back, and that's a whole different story. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say something a little more general to talk to the whole group. If it's something, well, let me say this. If I was talking to you and you were at one of my gatherings or you were working with me, I could give you specific answers based on your situation, because everybody's situation is different. But let's assume you've been broken up for a while and you realize you want her back, and maybe she broke up with you. Then in that case, what I want to say is maybe the answer is not in you focusing on getting her back right now, but working on you. And I know that sounds a little weird, and it's one of those things where, but that's not what I want. But it's also one of those things that maybe you need to hear, and it's what you need. You see, here's the key. If you're willing to go out there and do the actual work to make yourself a more solid guy, a more grounded guy, a more connected guy, you go out and, if you're gonna take programs, do that, read books, learn, develop your self-esteem, and go out and actually start doing some dating, meeting other women, and start to experience what it's like to be a more solid dude with other women, a solid man with other women, for 3 months or so, or maybe 6 months, depending on the time frame, and you start letting your ex go for a little bit. Then at the end of that 6 months, when you've really developed a true skill set with women, when you understand women better and you're not experimenting on your ex, you're doing this with women you're just meeting and you're learning about yourself, being honest about it, then at the end of that 6 months, you're gonna be a different human being if you really apply yourself. And that different human being, that beingness shift, that part of you that's shifted inside and is more solid now, that feels attractive, believes in himself more, goes back to the ex, if he still wants her, well, in that case, it could be very easy potentially to get her back. Because she's at first gonna see the old you, but then she's gonna start to experience the new you, because you will be different. And you're gonna have so much more ability to step forward and do what you need to do, say what needs to be said. Now, in some cases, it won't take that long. In some cases, it's a quick shift and it's easy. But I'm assuming for the mass majority of people who've been broken up for a while, things just weren't working. You need that pause, you need that break, you need to reset. Then you need to become a different person so that you're not going back into the same old pattern. You see, the real key here is to let her go. Let go of the old relationship completely. Because if you don't, you're gonna try to re-enter the same cycle, change who you are. But if you actually let her go and you let go of the old relationship, then you're going to enter into a whole new cycle. In a sense, maybe you're with the same woman, but you're creating a brand new relationship from a new place of being for yourself. A whole new you with, in a sense, a whole new version of her, because she's going to be relating to the new you differently. And that's what you ultimately want to do. It's like hitting a reset button. So I'm going to recommend you go out and you change yourself. Take some programs, look at our programs, look at somebody else's, but get out there, do some work, build your self-esteem, build your balls, build your masculinity, get grounded, whatever you need to do. Develop more vulnerability if that's what it is. But the number one thing is develop belief in yourself. And go out there, meet some women, date, figure out who you are, change your beingness, hit that reset button, and then see what happens when you get around her again. When you develop these skill sets, when you learn what it is, when you come back with new information and you've got somebody to help you, to kind of guide you, then you'll be shocked at what might happen in your life. I had one student, he really wanted to get this girl back. He did the work and the girl came back, I mean, powerfully. She really wanted to be with him, and he realized he didn't want her anymore. He realized he wanted somebody else, and he was much happier because of it. And that's what I'm talking about. And I also know of somebody else who separated from his ex for several years, actually, worked on himself. They got back together and they're still married today, over 10 years later, because he did the work he needed to do to become the man he wanted to be with her. Now, neither of them were perfect, but she changed in the 2 years, he grew in the 2 years. He can't control her, he can only control himself. So he did the work on himself. In that, he changed the whole dynamics of that relationship. And they've had a great marriage ever since. So this is a very powerful concept. It's not the quick fix. It's putting time in, it's digging in, it's doing the work. And for those of you that really want a powerful life, It's never about the quick fix. It's all about getting out there and doing the work. The work can be done quickly. It doesn't have to take 10 years, like some people I've seen, or even 5 years. It can be done maybe in months for you. But you gotta get in and do the work and not take this quick fix mentality. So with that said, the fastest way you're gonna do the work is to get good coaching. Number 2 is to get good knowledge and learn and put it into practice. But the number one thing is you've got to put it into practice. So get good coaching, get knowledge, and put it into practice. You've got to actually get your nervous system changed by being out there, meeting people, talking to people, developing your self-esteem, going through exercises. If you're just reading books on how to, it's probably never gonna happen. So with that said, I want to hear what you have to think of this video. Make sure you comment below. I definitely want to hear your comments, see what you think. If you want to add anything to it, feel free to. This channel's for you, so those comments are important to us because we learn about you through those comments. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you can catch all the videos. Make sure to check out the website, thefearlessman.com. And remember, only the confident really live. See you in the next video. Surrounding yourself with garbage thinking, people that are negative, heavy, you're also going to have trouble growing. So let's talk about this. And I want to start by talking about the 3 stages of development. 3 stages of development comes from a man named Dave Schwarzenegger in Pumping Iron. And I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't remember exactly how it went. Said something to the effect of, I'm turned on all the time. I'm turned on when I'm curling. I'm turned on when I'm crossing the street. I'm turned on for life. And look how much he created in his life. Look how much he manifested. It's